How can there be free will if God is real? If there's someone out there who's constantly restraining our every move, knows what we're going to do, and makes it so it has a different outcome from what we originally intended, how are we free? Absolute free will does not equate to absolute control. If my free will was to kill you, how about your free will to not want that to happen? Once both our free wills collide, the one to decide which prevails is the Almighty. Making him the murderer and not me, correct? Permission does not equate to causality. Doesn't that make him a moral monster? How so? God uses nature, sickness, time, accidents, and whatnot to bring upon suffering and death to each one of us. Why can't he use other people? We are going to suffer and die, therefore, how we suffer and die, it's how we suffer and die. He's more than allowed to use whatever instrument he has at his disposal. Whatever reasoning he has for our suffering and death, other than the original sin, is something you'll have to question him about yourself. If God is real, can't he make beings with perfect free will? You look at the universe and everything in it, the mechanics, the laws of physics, and somehow something as simple as being able to choose, that's the hard part? Not only do you immensely underestimate his mind but also the power of choice. You know how, even if you believe in evolution, certain traits are already programmed into us? Have you seen those videos where 1-year-olds are already extremely possessive and jealous, or when one of the twins instinctively tries to protect his brother from their newly beardless father? So is free will. Just like we can act out behaviors that we've never seen emulated before, our brains aren't even developed enough to comprehend what we're doing, so it is free will. If free will isn't possible no matter what because of previous events or God's existence, why, then, are people so afraid of artificial intelligence? Why? Isn't it because it will be conscious? Isn't it because it will be able to make its own choices? You know, something other that we have determined it to do? Why do some people prefer pets to children? Isn't it because once those children mature, they'll be able to say no? To choose differently? You say there's no free will, but everything in existence seems to contradict your claims. And please, don't you dare call it an illusion. Either things are, or they aren't. If free will is an illusion, then everything is an illusion. You're not really thirsty, your mind is making you think so. This is a dumb example, but for example, if you had masturbated before, your body was within the illusion that you were having sex, however, there's something real, such as sex. So, how, then, can our brains give an illusion of something that doesn't exist? If there's no free will, how can God judge us? What did Jesus die for? And what is the Holy Spirit helping us do? Isn't God going to judge our choices, how we used our free will? Didn't Jesus die so we could choose salvation? And isn't the Holy Spirit helping us make that choice, plus choosing to follow the will of the Father in our everyday actions? Why do you underestimate the power of choice? Why can't you come to terms with it? Why are you a coward? Why can't you take responsibility for your actions? Why can't you accept that you could have chosen differently? That things did not have to be the way they currently are. Yes, there are things that are out of your control, but not you, not your own choices. And simply because there's a pattern of behavior within groups, it does not mean you can't choose differently. Why do we celebrate the outliers? Because they show us, they prove to us what is possible. For every 10 million Davids that slept with Bathsheba, there's one Joseph that ran away from Potiphar's wife. Demonstrating once again and for always, we can say no, we can choose differently, we just choose not to.